eating bastards by conceding tries a game, but look on the positive side, they didn't strike 40 on us. They've already done that to us once, not going there again. At least we got the first points on the board through Ben Curry. We were dominating the first half until we gave away a try near the hooter. Then Wanky Warriors got so lucky to win. We really are missing Dufty a lot now. You've only had him 1 week. Callum Percy 99 said, average first half performance, but thought the second half was great. Some great off-the-cuff tries were great to watch. It was great to be back at the DW after a while missing due to Thursday, although last train home was cancelled. £70 taxi home from Manchester wasn't nice. On to next week. Poor Callum. He had a bit of a drum battle as well with the wire drummer, I suppose, that opposite end of the ground. They probably couldn't hear much of each other, but we could hear them both from the middle. I think Callum summed it up there, but better than anyone else has in terms of the first half performance. I think it was as bad as Wigan have been with the ball. It looked like the Leeds game. It was scratchy at best with the ball. I mean, Shorrocks at dummy half was a clear issue. I don't blame Shorrocks. He was filling in, working as hard as he could. His defence was crucial, I think, as well, in keeping Wire to only one questionable try in that first half. I think he was a big part of that. So. Yeah, but no doubt the attack looked a lot sharper when Cust went to dummy half. And he made Warrington have to worry about something that you never prepare for when you're playing Wigan, and that was someone running from dummy half. So, yeah, and that switch actually happened, I think, once at a point where Wigan had just grasped control of the game anyway. That outrageous play that involved almost the whole team before half time to get that first score, but great interjections from Field and French within that. But Shorrocks's grenade throw, offload, Liam Marshall's scurry back across the pitch, and Sam Halsall being in the right place to finish it as well, all deserve mention. That was a great try. And then the brilliance of KPP, not only that late offload for the Bibby try, but also his general play. I was saying at half time, we need to get the ball to him more. In that first 10 minutes after half time, he was great. He made a lot of ground, he made a lot of carries, and then had that amazing late offload. I think that swung the momentum towards Wigan anyway for the point in time where they made the change and put Cust to dummy half, and then that just then drove home the advantage of the better side being the better side finally on the field.
Yeah, it seems like Wire can hang with teams for a bit, and to be fair, whilst you weren't playing well, they hung with you. But yet again, something goes wrong. Kind of, as you said, the bit of a worldly try that you got at the end of the half, and them not scoring, and yeah, it all kind of it felt like they fell apart, as happened so often to them this year.
Yeah, and the major moment of falling apart was the Matty Ashton break. Like, the intercept, wasn't it? No team scrambles like Wigan's scramble defence. Like, St Helens have a better defence than us. No one argues that St Helens' defence is absolutely exceptional, but no team recovers from an error or catches up to a break like this Wigan team. And then, Field's chase back was amazing, but then Marshall pounced in from marker as well to be the first person to the ball, and then ultimately not long after that it led to Marshall's first try, didn't it, for Wigan. A clear moment that shows what Wigan are made of and what Warrington aren't made of right now.
Yeah, just a lack of attention, wasn't it? That their assumption that he was going to, I don't know, assumed that he was going to make the break, I don't know, or they were leaving it to other people to get into dummy half, I don't know. But it was not. It was, as you rightly say, it was exactly the kind of thing that really points out what Warrington's flaws are at the moment.
And I think on another day with some of the stuff they did, there was the Williams break that then the pass back inside was just behind him. There was the stray pass from Williams in the first half, wasn't there? Against another side, they would have scored 20 plus points and maybe won the game, but Wigan's defence it's like resilient in a way that other people's aren't the same. Certainly Warrington's isn't, because we saw that, and yeah, Marshall was class. Bevan French's take for that second Marshall try. I mean, I think only Bevan French could do that in this competition. He's been trying to do it for a while, threatening, getting close, and finally pulled it off. And a bit of Jay Field magic at the end as well to finish it, to pad the scoreline out. It was a great second half for Wigan.
Yeah, but saying that Warrington would have got 20 ahead and might have won, I mean, we've seen them not manage to do that against poorer teams than Wigan, so they're just in a massive hole. And individually, the players are doing okay, but as you said, people are putting the effort in. But there's just some massive disconnect with Warrington at the moment.
Yeah, because like I say, yeah, they could have scored more points and if bounce of the ball or a few little bits getting executed a bit better, which you might do against a team that doesn't defend as frantically as Wigan do. But at the same token of it, Wigan wouldn't necessarily have won by as big a margin against any other side either, with the way Warrington's defence kind of capitulates in the back quarter of games. I thought, by the way, Brad Singleton was excellent off the bench for Wigan. I think his best games for us this year have been when he comes back from a ban. I'm not advocating that he gets banned again, but maybe I'm advocating Matty Pete to drop him for a couple of weeks and then bring him back in for a big game and see how he gets on. Because he was excellent, I thought, as well. I wanted to call out a forward performance. I mean, there were so many good performances across the board in the second half. I thought Josh Fewlis was threatening for Warrington. He looked dangerous at times, but then Harry Smith started to put Fewlis and Wrench under pressure from his kicking game, and Bevan French was more up to it than they were. So yeah.
Yep.
News story that kind of relates to both sides that's come out today. Wigan Warriors assistant coach Lee Briers will depart at the end of the 2022 season to take up a coaching opportunity with NRL club Brisbane Broncos. The 44-year-old former standoff will join Kevin Walters' staff at the Queensland-based club from 2023. Callum Percy got in touch. He said, Callum Pearson 99 said, gutted to hear the departure of Lee Briers at the end of the season. He's brought attacking rugby, this Wigan team that we have been dreaming of for years. I also think he's really developed Harry Smith into the player he is this season. Let's hope we can get him another trophy before he leaves. It does feel like a bigger loss than someone who's only been at the club 9 months would normally feel like, because Wigan's attack is so different to last year. And I think people do put a lot of that down to Briers. Certainly Harry Smith's development, we put a lot of that down to Briers. So he's done a fantastic job in a short time at Wigan.
I think people. I remember people talking about that post Challenge Cup. You know how influential he's been in that short term. So yeah, I mean it is a loss, but from his point of view, it's an opportunity that. You can't really turn down, can you?
No, he said it was one that he'd regret if he'd think about and potentially regret if he didn't take it. So you've got to say, fair enough. I think he's got something out of going to Wigan as well, getting that different environment, experiencing that different environment, and maybe that's inspired him to think another different environment is another good thing for him to go and sample. What it does tell me is I wasn't convinced whether Lee Briers would want to be a head coach, but now that is travelling around picking up this assistant coach experience, now I'm starting to think more, does he want to be a head coach? Maybe his mindset, his own personal professionalism and ambitions have changed too. Maybe
so. I mean, it's he's showing potential, isn't he? It'll be interesting to see how it goes in terms of in the NRL, but yeah, we will see. It wouldn't surprise me if he was back here in a head coaching role in about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, maybe replacing Powell at Warrington.
honestly,
lasts that long.
Well, maybe get some money on that in Briers in charge in 2025 or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, from a Wigan perspective, I think Wigan maybe need to move fast to get someone in to work alongside him for the rest of this year to take over his part of the kind of assistance roles next year. Wigan don't like to talk about a clear definition between attack and defence, but clearly Briers has had the most influence on those spine players, those team players that you're looking for the attack from. So I think we need to bring someone on, and maybe with a bit of Breers at their side for a few months. Succession planning, something that doesn't seem to happen anywhere anymore. But yeah, we'll leave that be and see, and wish him all the best.
Indeed, yeah.
Another televised game to talk about. It felt a bit flat, this one, though, Alan. St Helens versus Castleford. This time the home side was in front at half-time and saw that through to the end. 12-0 at half-time, 20 points to 12 at full-time. 10,144 was the crowd. Chris Kendall was the referee. This game had the most errors of any so far this year, 32, which was shared 20 by Saints and 12 by Cass. Saints made 8 more errors, which led to Cass having 58 more carries overall, but Saints still made a slightly more meters and made them at a 1.9 meters per carry better average game, which is massive, and maybe that was something in their intensity carrying the ball that Cass couldn't live with in the end.
Maybe. For Saints, Alex Walmsley with 6 tackle busts and 144 metres. Tommy Makinson returned with 135 metres. Jonathan Benison with 123 metres. Curtis Sirenan with a try, 5 tackle busts, 116 metres, and his usual 2-game ban.
Yeah, grade B high tackle, too much penalty notice. I think he was lucky. He got yellow carded for it, didn't he?
Yeah.
I thought he was lucky not to get red carded for it.
Well, honestly, we shouldn't expect anything else from him. This is what he does.
There's an element of it being one of those ones that's a bit desperate, innit? Where you're kind of
he was
tackling
across.
A player that's going into score in a way, but it came over the top of the shoulder clearly. So.
Oh yeah, it was a stone cold yellow card as far as I'm concerned.
Whilst we're on the disciplinary, Liam Watts also got a grade B dangerous contact charge, 2-match penalty notice for him. That'll be for his late hit that he got sin bin for as well, wouldn't it? Which I think is again reasonable enough. Yeah,
because he was just on the back of him hitting another guy high as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, for Castleford, Greg Eden with 2 try assists, 129 metres. Bretta Farima with 3 tries, 7 tackle busts, 122 metres, 3 clean breaks and 3 offloads. Durrell Alford with 7 tackle busts, 102 metres. And Paul McShane with 44 tackles, 13 of which were from marker. At
MikeWeb58 said, grim game and full of errors. Saints clearly deciding that once in front they would get some practice defending. Fortunately, Cass only discovered the left edge with 15 minutes to go. Watched the Channel 4 coverage later, fast forwarding most of the match, and sadly it was better than being there.
Yeah, you made a really good point at the start there about how low intensity this match felt. It felt like the number of games that these teams have played was really playing its part in this match for me. It felt poor. Like we played too many
shout.
games.
It did feel like it was on a Saturday after Easter rather than on a Saturday after both teams having a week off.
I wasn't. Well,
not a week off, but a week to prepare.
Yeah, maybe it was Castleford's inadequacy that made me feel a bit bored with the game, but yeah, it wasn't great. Tom Andrews says, Saints recalling Royal and not playing him is so annoying. Saints quickly rising above Wigan as my second most disliked Super League team. Shame the HMS sinking ship couldn't punish them.
Well, I think they thought Sirenan was more injured than he was, but now he's more suspended than he was, so they probably will have to play Royal next week. When I was putting the rundown together, I felt disappointed that we only got 2 fan reviews from a free-to-air TV game. But then I sat back and reflected on the game.
Yeah, you watched it like I did, didn't you?
And I didn't think there was much for people to talk about. I mean, Cass's line defence, particularly in the first half, was really quite soft. Those tries scored in the forwards for Saints, they weren't pretty. I mean, one of them was a penalty try, wasn't it, for the Bachelor one, because he was tackled by Eden before having an opportunity to pick up the ball, which, fair enough, no arguments, no one's criticising anyone there, I don't think. But so no reason to talk about it from a controversy angle either. But it just felt like they weren't there line defence-wise. And then when they did pick up their attack and attack that young edge, where even that edge got an injury on it, didn't it? Hill's been injured now, and that's meant Daniel Hill's been injured, and that meant Josh Sims been